What is up, everybody? Welcome out to our 6 o'clock live stream tonight. We're going to talk about the upcoming holiday, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, how some of you celebrate it, if you celebrate it, how we're going to celebrate it. We're also going to talk about some upcoming changes in the new year for the channel,
That'll be a surprise to me.
possibly even some personal changes on both of our ends. And it's going to be interesting. Looking forward to the new year as always. I'm not one of those people that dreads it. Uh, I'm one of those people that kind of dreads Christmas, and then once I get past Christmas, it's like, all right, man, just get through winter.
I dread putting the wrong year on all paperwork for the next 2 months.
Yeah, well, that's part of it too, I guess, right?
2025. Do you believe it?
I did the thumbnail for tonight last minute, and you informed me that when you are supposed to have the glasses on that say the year, it's for the upcoming year, not the current year. Yeah, well, I'm not up on those things, man.
What?
Did you have a good Christmas, man?
I did. I had a great Christmas. I was like Santa Claus.
Nice.
I got my family a bunch of stuff. Kept passing out gifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
got some socks.
Cool. What did you get? Any obviously, socks are cool and all, but did you get anything that's mention worthy?
Other than what I got last week here on the show.
Well,
I got a couple pops from the Loteria Spanish card game. I got the Devil and Death.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I bought them for myself, and then I said to my 12-year-old, "Hey, look what you got, Dad, for Christmas."
Nice.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm wearing the expensive skin shirt that I got from the wife.
Nice.
And then Justin gave me my gift. It was the day before Christmas. It might have been. Anyway, he didn't give it to me while we were on air. He gave it to me a couple days later. I believe it was the day after Christmas, or day before Christmas. I'm sorry. I'm going to share it all with you real quick because I took a cool picture of it. I didn't have it tonight because I didn't want to break it. So I'm going to share it with y'all. Justin hooked me up with, let me get rid of this banner, a piece of flash that actually hung at Picture Machine in San Francisco, Pat Martinek's shop, along with a cool stencil.
Yeah, stencil from the sheet.
And business card. So, and you got that from Jesse?
Yeah, I got that from Jesse Martinek.
So we got that from the grandson who has a shop. I thought that was an amazing gift, dude. I was stoked when I opened it. When you handed me that, and I was like, what is it? You know what I mean? Like, because it was wrapped, and I'm like, what the hell could this possibly be?
A very flat puppy.
I don't need any more puppies. But yeah, man, I was stoked to get it. Thank you. Much appreciated. So, had a great Christmas. It was cool for me to have my mom home. She was at my house. It was looking a little dicey. I wasn't sure, what was going to happen with her coming home and all that. So was amped to have her. I don't know if she's watching tonight, but if you are, what's up, Mom? That was my biggest concern, and it kind of threw me for a loop with a bunch of different stuff for Christmas and whatnot, because I was, stressed out about that. And then, kind of put me back with, getting stuff ready for tonight and whatnot. But we're going to do it. We're going to have a good time. So we're going to talk about New Year's. What do you do anything for New Year's Eve?
Yeah, I usually go out with my friends.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually hang around, play music, stuff like that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now
my favorite New Year's memory of all time was I may have been participating in some underage drinking.
Okay.
And we were in Exeter, no, Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and we went outside, and I mean, and it's winter up there. I mean, it's cold. It was cold, and we were pouring champagne over each other's heads, and it was like, not that it was freezing on us, but it was cold. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's one of my favorite. I can almost shut my eyes and
So it's
see
crazy,
that memory.
we live, fairly close, to New York City, and I have 0 interest in going into that madness for New Year's Eve.
Yeah, everybody I've ever talked to that said they went there said that they would never do it again. They said it gets so crowded that you almost have to piss yourself.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've heard of people, like, wearing diapers and stuff 'cause there's
Nowhere to go.
nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Imma hang at home, watch TV, watch some of the cool stuff and whatnot and blah, 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 but, yeah, it's not really my bag, dude. I don't 'cause I don't drink, I don't do drugs anymore. Uh, man, I'm also not interested in, going out and doing oh, Nikki with the, $2 super chat. Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. Much appreciated. Um I'm not really interested in, like, going out and dealing with drunk drivers and all that, you know what I mean? Like, it's too dicey out there, man. People just don't wanna pay attention and, whatever, but,
Were you in Arizona at all for New Year's?
no, no, when I left Arizona, I left actually right before Christmas, so I didn't even get to experience I got to experience Christmas because it was close enough, but I didn't do the New Year's Eve stuff, nothing like that. I gotta be honest with you, growing up on the East Coast and living in a cold, winter environment, it was very strange to be in, Arizona where there's Christmas lights up and stuff like that, and I'm walking around in shorts and a T-shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a little odd for me.
You
Uh
know the whole shoot off automatic weapons on New Year's Eve thing that you hear about?
mm,
Like yeah, that really happened.
I'm sure.
It happened in Phoenix. It was like machine guns.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Like we knock like pots and pans. They're shooting off machine guns.
so as far as we'll get into stuff that we're gonna change. We'll talk about traditions for New Year's Eve and stuff like that. But we do have some tattoo stuff that I wanted to talk about. Um, First off, everybody that's watching right now, quick show of hands. How many of you saw the Burt Rodriguez episode? I want to see how many actually say, you know what? Yeah, I watched it. Uh, I just want to double check something real quick. Um, you know, uh, if you can get past the bad audio that happened during that episode, the dude is amazing to hear stories from and talk to. I tried to clean up that audio as best I could. He was on his phone. There was supposed to be a guy that was supposed to be at his shop that was supposed to help him out to get set up on the computer and do the proper webcam and a microphone and whatnot. And the dude had to dip because something was wrong with his kid or something, right? So I said, I go, you know what, Bert, we'll just tough it out. We'll do what we got to do. And man, like half the video is like Wilson from Home Improvements, with him like, but you get past all that, dude, and you listen to what the guy has to say, man. It a pretty amazing dude to talk to. And to be honest with you, man, like he was like even at the end going, hey, you know what, man? If you ever just want to shoot the shit, just call me. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's one of those guys that's just like super laid back, but interesting history. Uh, you know, super happy I did it. It actually did better than I thought that it was going to do. So that was cool. Um, but things for the channel that are going to change for the new year. Nothing drastic, of course. We're going to still keep doing our Sunday night thing. We're going to do, I'm going to keep cranking out videos, more history stuff. I got a bunch of history stuff lined up that I'm going to do. I don't know how many interviews I'm going to do, but I have one or two left that I want to do that I think are going to be really good, especially for our tattoo community. We'll see how that goes. But I definitely have some history stuff that I want to do. Um, we're gonna definitely have shirts ready to go after the new year. I'm gonna do a cool little store on the channel so you can buy the shirts directly from us, and we'll do that. Um, the other thing that's gonna change is I'm gonna definitely implement a channel membership. Nothing crazy. I'm not looking, I'm not gonna be one of those people that's gonna be like $5, $10 a month, none of that crap, man. It's just gonna be a cool way to do something for our people that are regulars and stuff like that, so they get a cool little thing next to their name and stuff like that. But you know, um, I plan on doing some of that, and then I'm gonna try to do some traveling this year to get out and do some different shops and whatnot, and we'll see what happens. I mean, you can't really ever plan on anything, especially with the stuff that's going on with my mom and whatnot. But those are some of the changes that we're gonna do. But I actually put it in the description for the video for tonight. You as the listener, or the people that come here all the time, what would you guys like to see different on the channel? Sarah with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Sarah. What would you guys like to see different this year from us or from me as far as tattoo history stuff? What do you guys want to see? Because at this point, I'm making videos for you. You guys are the people that are here all the time. You watch us. You talk or comment. I'm sorry, not talk. You comment on our videos. You comment and like our videos. So, what do you guys want to see from us this year? I am trying to make it a community where everybody's just chill, hanging out, and has input on what we can, you know, try to get out for you guys. So just curious. Um, we got a couple people hanging out already, uh, which is cool. Got some people that regulars that hanging out. We got our moderator Nikki. We got Bill O'Connell hanging. Sarah, Drag. We got Tom from over there in the UK. Fat Cracker, what's up, brother? Where you been? Um, Chris Hawkins, Tobias. Late, he said latecomer as usual. Nah, brother, you're right on time. Um, cool, man. And then I had a bunch of people that said they loved it. They, hands up that they watched the Burt Rodriguez video, and cool. I had a lot of positive responses, and to be honest with you, the video did actually better than I thought it was going to do. I have to say though, one of the coolest things that I saw was Burt Rodriguez's grand. I don't know if it was daughter or son, actually commented and was like, "Oh, great video! That's my grandpa, by the way,"
Nice.
which is really cool. And then Jojo Ackerman, who Burt mentions in the video, he commented on the video. So that was really cool, man, to have him chime in and you know kind of give it a little bit of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but anyway. Chris Hawkins said, "I'd love to see you do a Philadelphia Eddie episode." It's already in the works. That one is it's a tough one for me because I am friends with a lot of people that knew him. Um, also, his career spans quite a lot, time wise. Um, and the other part of that is that you know his stuff is not as easily obtainable picture wise. um I don't know if the family or whatever, but it is definitely in the works. I plan on doing a Philadelphia Eddie episode. um Justin is nice enough to, I borrowed 2 out of the 3 books off of him, and combing through those. And believe it or not, I've actually spent a lot of time listening to the audio of him on Spotify when I'm editing. Because to me, he I think some of his stories that he tells are part of what'll be cool for the episode.
So like when it gets a little loaded.
Well, and that's the thing is as you're listening to it, you can tell as he's going through it
Yeah.
that he's he's got you
2
know,
screwdrivers.
yeah, always double fisting the screwdrivers, man. Um, so yeah, man, that's definitely gonna be in the works. So, um,
So the first time I met Philadelphia Eddie, right? I was with my buddy Johnny G, and Johnny G ran a clothing store across the street from Eddie's shop on 4th Street. And Johnny G was all about like rockabilly. So he was friends with this guy Elvis who worked for Eddie. And Elvis was like an old greaser. Like Elvis had greaser tattooed across his throat, but not nice, just like greaser. And Penny really didn't like Elvis because every time that Eddie and Elvis hung out, like, you know, Eddie would do whatever he would do. So I'm meeting Philadelphia Eddie for the first time. I'm a little nerved out, you know what I mean? I'm like a Philadelphia tattooer trying to make it. I'm meeting one, pretty serious guy. I'm standing there with Johnny G, and Johnny G goes, Eddie, you heard from Elvis lately? And suddenly from the other side of the booth, Penny makes this sound like this.
yeah,
I mean, and Eddie gives Johnny a look like, really, man? Really? Like you had to mention the guy?
yeah,
And I give Johnny a look like, dude, I'm trying to meet this dude for the first time. And now, his old lady's gonna be yelling at him.
yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, buddy.
I I actually got to know her pretty well. Not, I mean, we're not like buddy buddy. Like I wouldn't call her up and be like, "Hey, Penny, what's going on?" But I got to know her, and she she was going to sit down and do an interview for me, and then our mutual connection, I guess, kind of pissed her off, and that kind of went out the window. So it would have been nice to have her little input on some of the stuff and whatnot to see, what little extra details that she could have gave to the story. But you know, shit happens. What are you gonna do?
I bet your furry would have a lot of Eddie stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's stuff out there. It's like I said, when I already started, because I try to search for not only documentation but pictures and stuff like that before I get into the episode. So this way, I have enough B-roll stuff to show you guys. Whether it's flash tattoos, shops, pictures of the person. I try to throw a little extra stuff in there for you. So um, it'll happen, Chris, soon enough. So Bill O'Connell said, "How about Carrie Barba? She's a legend, amazing artist, still tattooing." So I agree with all those statements. As far as history stuff, I try not to do any history stuff with people that are living. And I know that sounds corny, but to me, it's one of those things where if the person's still alive, I would almost rather see an interview with them than a history thing about them. I mean, that could change, obviously, but um, you know, it's just how I kind of went about this so far. Uh, to me, it's I'd rather do the history stuff on the people that have passed. Does that sound stupid? Does that
No,
sound weird?
no. I mean, and I don't know if
I don't know if she would do it, to be
I don't
honest
know
with you.
how accessible Carrie is, or what. I to be honest,
Mm. She was
I,
accessible for some other dude that we're not going to talk about, but he did something with her. But anyhow, uh,
so I tattooed today for a while, and my eyes hurt because I'm old. That's why
also
I keep like
Justin and I also got out on the bike today and went for a rip. And I have to be honest with you, I haven't been on the bike since October, and
Buck's hands were like this.
I was cramping up like it was going out of style. I mean, obviously I should drink more water, but yeah, it was definitely an interesting day. I'm gonna sleep good tonight, though. All that fresh air.
Absolutely, man.
Before we get any further, I also would just like to talk about these guys real quick. Invasion Magazine. They have a online. I don't know if it's a subscription or not. You could buy digital magazines off of them, but they are actually promoting the channel on their website right now. We are featured at the very very top of their website, and they're having a Christmas sale right now where you can get money off on their issues. They have digital issues that they put out. I actually brought one on the show the one night, and it was the first one. The guy that runs it gave it to me, and it just happened to be sobriety and all that stuff, which to me, I thought that was kind of cool. But we are being featured on there, so they're supporting us. So I'm trying to get the word out to support them. Big shout out to Inkvasion Magazine. Um, so Fat Cracker said Japanese tattoo history. Fantastic idea, but man, that would have to be a couple parter, I would think, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because you got a lot of ground to cover with Japanese tattoo history. And I have to say that I'm not real good at pronouncing their names half the time. I forget what episode it was, but I totally just demolished the guy's name, and I was like, "Oh man."
I want to say the guy's name is Marco Blatt. He's Dutch,
Okay.
and he wrote an excellent book called The History of the Japanese Bodysuit. That was thorough.
Okay.
I mean, it was thorough.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that's I keep the suggestions coming, man. I mean, this is we got them on film or whatever you want to call it. So I'll go back to these and be like, hey, man, all right, these are what people have asked for. So um, I think that I've stuck to mainly the American people, except for the Burchett video. Uh, I would like to branch out to Canadian tattoo artists. I would love to branch out to more UK, uh, Australian. There's a multitude of different countries that have big name artists. So we'll see about that. Try branching out. I think that for me, I get the most joy out of doing the history stuff because as painful as it is to put together the information and the B-roll and stuff like that, it gives me more of an opportunity to learn um, about people that I don't know a lot about. But it also, kind of broadens my horizons a little bit more. So,
There was a guy for years named Paul Jeffries. He was a Canadian tattooer, and his place was called Smiling Buddha, and he did like a lot of Japanese sort of hybrid
okay.
stuff. Just when you mentioned Canadian tattooers, I thought, yeah,
I
Paul
have
Jeffries.
I have to kind of comb through my comments on a couple of the video. It was a couple videos ago, but there was somebody that actually asked for somebody. They were like, "Man, I'd love to see you cover," and it was somebody from Canada. So I'd have to look to see who that was. But I was like, "Yeah, man, I'm down. If I can get information, I'll do it." Um, you know, I'm trying to think of like Dietzel
Mm-hmm.
or somebody like that. There's not a lot of
No, there
it's
isn't.
real tough to get information. Some of the people, it's real tough to get pictures on. So at that point, like, I don't want to make a video where it's just me talking into the camera because then people are like, all right, dude, it's enough. Next, not even gonna watch it. One thing I will say though that I am gonna do, I've really not posted a lot of shorts on the Tattoos and Review channel, but I'm gonna be bombing Instagram to try to get Instagram pumped up a little bit, hoping that it brings more people to the channel. So I just made one the other day from Gibby at Conquest Tattoo. He was one of the first people that actually let me interview him. I think he was the second one. And I redid one for him, man, and that's going to be part of the game plan going forward. Um, so Fat Cracker said also Polynesian, another great one. Um, you know, that's another deep dive that's gonna. I don't even know if I would be able to pull that off in a 20-minute. But hey, man, I'm willing to give anything a shot. I think that's one of the uh, cultures that intrigues me a lot, actually, with that whole thing.
Yeah, I told you about the scene in Moana too, right? With the kava.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
the narcotic milk.
I can't believe they put that in a Disney movie.
Hey, who would know though? I mean, who would really be culturally aware enough
So
to understand the reference?
how many of you people? What do you mean, you people? How many listeners right now have where they do New Year's resolution? Anybody out there? What about you? Do you do any kind of New Year's resolution thing?
Nope.
Okay,
No, I do not.
no,
Nope.
just never. You know what? I'm not real big on it either, but I didn't realize until this year that January 2nd is called Quitter's Day.
So I kind of think. I mean, I know it sounds corny or whatever, but I kind of think that the year starts in October
Why is that?
because of a holiday called Samhain.
Okay,
It's like a sort of an I don't know. Yeah, it's a pagan holiday.
okay, yeah. I mean,
And I read years ago that whatever sort of wherever your life is on Samhain is it's that's the direction you're going to go in. So I always try to make that a very very positive day.
okay.
Yeah.
Or
I know
you?
you think it's corny or whatever,
No,
but
no, no, man. I mean, like, I know that there's people out there. I don't know if it's a religious thing, like certain religions do or whatever, but like the whole eat pork on New Year's Day to it's supposed to bring you good luck for the new year. Um, I know Russians and Polish people think that like you eat pork on New Year's Day, it's supposed to bring you good luck, pork and sauerkraut. And I'm like, okay,
really?
yeah, man. So that's something like ever since I was a little kid, we've had pork on Christmas Day. I mean, New Year's Day. Sorry. Um, I'm not real big on New Year's resolutions, but I have things that I want to do this year. I'm not gonna like throw it out there as this is my New Year's resolution. But our moderator Nikki said New Year, same me. Drag said a lot of ink for the new year. That
A
I
lot of
know.
ink for the new year. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely like to get more tattoos this year. I'd like to continue my leg sleeve of American traditional tattoos from different, you know, getting ready to retire artists.
I'd like to finish my bodysuit.
Um, Sarah said, I just make fun of resolutions. Like for 2022, my goal was to get tattooed at least once a month. That's a pretty damn good goal. That's a costly goal, but that's a good goal. The that could get expensive quick, man. Especially if you're.
Working tattoo shop. I'll be right back.
So Nikki said pork and sauerkraut and potatoes on New Year's Day, PA Dutch tradition brought over from Europe. There you go. So um I don't know. I just thought it was kind of funny to hear that call that Quitter's Day because I guess everybody that does New Year's resolutions they give up on the second day. Um, I'm one of those people that like if I think that if you're going to do a resolution, I don't if you're let's put it this way, if you're going to make life changes, whatever it be, whether it's business, you want to lose weight, you want to quit drinking, you want to quit doing drugs, whatever, you don't need a day for that. Now's the day. Like they always say, like
If not now, when?
no, like when you go to a nutritionist and you're trying to lose weight, and they're like, I'll be like, man, on Monday, and they're like, well, why not start today?
Yeah, if not now,
Right,
then when?
right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because I don't want to. That's probably my biggest thing, personal wise, is I want to whoops, I want to drop weight. Chris said, I like the once a month schedule, Sarah. There you go. I think that every tattoo artist in America right now is applauding that and saying, yes, let's do that. Let's make that a thing.
I wonder what the carnage level among tattooers is going to be come spring. How many new tattooers are going to be laying prone across the battlefield? You know, guys that just weren't prepared for January and February.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those comments coming across on Instagram threads, Facebook. Um, you know, I actually just saw a podcast where the one guy was talking about that, where he was like, the veterans that have been doing this for quite some time, they know that, hey man, these are the lean months. You plan for it, you do, accordingly or whatever. And there's going to be people out there that just not going to make the cut because of it. They didn't plan accordingly, and you know, it's that's I guess part of the game, right?
Yeah, so early on I was told that during the winter time, that's when you get with your friends. That's when you get with people that will let you do your projects and
Mm,
people that will actually you'd be surprised how many people will not it's like will not show up. You know what I mean? It's like for the motorcycle ride, like a month before the ride, everybody's going to show up. A week before the ride, half people are going to show up, and the day of the ride, you show up.
yeah,
It's like that with people who are like, "Oh, I'll get tattooed twice a month all through the winter time
yeah.
to get this piece done." And then they just, you know,
You know what I mean, I don't know if this is just something, amongst people that I friends with or follow or whatever. I've noticed like an uptick of no calls, no shows, which is crazy to me, dude. If you put money down for a deposit on a tattoo, why would you not show up?
it happens.
I mean, I look, if you're not going to show up for your appointment, man, at least have the decency to call and be like, "Hey, man, this came up." Shit happens, dude. Hey, I got no car wreck. Hey, I got, my car broke down, or God forbid something else worse happens. You can at least have the decency to call somebody and be like, "Hey, man, I can't make it," and then give the tattoo artist an opportunity to fill that slot. You know, I've seen a lot of tattoo artists be like, "Hey, man, I had a last minute cancellation. I got a slot open tomorrow from 2 to 4. Anybody want it?" And 9 times out of 10, they'll fill it. It's you just got to be. I'm assuming that everybody has a sense of decency and respect, and
I was
that's just
taught
not the case.
I was taught to keep them in the shop and get them tattooed.
So Bill O'Connell said, "Good sir, I've been tattooed 21 times in the last 23 months, already scheduled for January, February, and March."
Nice.
Bill, knocking it out of the park, brother. Woo! Chris Hawkins, thank you so much for the 9.99 super chat.
Yeah, so when they come in, right? When they come in and they have the money in their hot little hands and they want to get tattooed,
Yeah,
that's when I tattoo them. I keep them in the shop until I can tattoo them.
strike while the iron's hot.
Right?
Just
Yeah.
like the man, I'm sorry.
Because a lot of times people just want to get tattooed. They don't even necessarily want to get anything done.
It's just I want a tattoo.
They want to get tattooed right then. They got the $200, the $300, and they want to get some work done now.
It all goes back to the comment about Joey Knuckles saying, "Hey, look, hate to break it to you, but you're a salesman."
Absolutely.
Because it's the same way if you go to buy a car, right?
Yeah.
They're going to do everything they can to not let you leave without buying a car. They're going to give you, well, they're going to make you think they're giving you stuff, but
Plus, I think if you're a good enough salesman, but like not with whatever, you can probably tell where when the guy is willing to go for the package and spend the extras and get the bells and whistles versus when the guy's like, I need a new car, but it's a little lean. You know what I mean?
right.
There's all kinds of things you can do.
So Fat Cracker said the primal urge. It's true, right?
Yeah.
You got that like the primal urge to get that tattoo right then and there. Boom. I've been there, man. I've actually, been in this situation where I went to the shop knowing what I wanted to get, or at least remotely close to it, and walked into the shop and they were like, "Ah, man, I can't do it till tomorrow." And you're like, "Dude, talk about disappointment." You know what I mean? Like you're all amped and ready to go, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Ah, man, I can't take you today," or "I'm booked out till next July."
So I was like probably 17 years old. 17? And I was getting tattooed a lot at this place in Seabrook, New Hampshire called Jim's.
Okay.
one time I got tattooed twice in the same week. Like I was getting a lot of work there, right? And I go in there one day and they're like, "Yeah, we're all busy. We can't tattoo you." And they had an issue of Tattoo Time that had a man's ruin in it that I wanted. So I said, "Well, guys, can I can I get a copy of that man's ruin design?" Meaning I was going to get a copy of the man because I didn't know. Like, I mean, I was a kid. I was just starting to get tattooed. I didn't realize that I was asking them for a design to take down the street to get tattooed by, their competition because he had time open that day. You know what I mean? I just didn't know what I was asking for. And they, I guess I was a good enough customer to where they were like, yeah, here. They made me a copy. I went out the door, trucked down the street, got
And,
my man's ruin tattoo.
and did they find out?
Yeah,
What did they say?
nothing,
Okay.
nothing. But I was putting a lot of money in their pockets and I was stoned all the time. And they would make comments about, "Oh, look, Justin's paying his light bill again," because I'd go in there all baked.
So Fat Cracker said Marcus Pacheco.
Marcus Pacheco. Yeah.
Right on. Who's that? I don't know who that is.
I'm gonna say he was sort of like he pushed the bounds of like a new school sort of tattooing. Pacheco. I think it's actually Marcus Pacheco.
Okay. Fat Cracker said his tattoo shop in San Fran. Great name for a tattoo shop. Oh, Primal Urge.
Yeah.
Okay. Right on. Man, that was one of the things with Bert. I didn't realize it was just him and Tuttle in San Fran at the time.
Yep.
And then he was all like,
And Tuttle had some shit to say.
Yup,
Yeah.
asking about the Mexican on the hill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bill O'Connell with the $10 super chat. Thank you.
I think Pacheco. I think of him as part of that, like Eddie Duche, where the kids were coming in, or the younger tattooers were coming in, and they were pushing the boundaries of
Whoa, Medusa's noggin with the $20 super chat.
nice.
Thank you.
So they were pushing the boundaries of what could be tattooed, but I mean, not the way they're being pushed today. You know what I mean? But it is like what Capobianco said. I mean, the kids today are standing on the shoulders of people that innovated.
Right.
So guys like, there were shops where definitely they were doing innovative, cutting edge work. They were just experimenting with new styles and doing stuff that people didn't even think could be tattooed.
Right. So Medusa did give the super chat, but I just wanted to say what he actually said. Happy holidays and thank you for the killer interviews. So
Oh
right on,
yeah.
man. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think that I think that was so Bert was saying something about that where he was like later on or whatever, and Ed Hardy was like doing all the, like the fancy custom work.
Right.
You know what I mean? And those guys were still just banging out American traditional, doing it, boom, boom,
Hustling.
boom, boom, boom.
Walking shop, hustling.
Yeah. And it's just always interesting to hear from the older generation of tattoo artists that are talking about that changeover. And now, people like yourself, you saw kind of changeover in the 90s. And now we have, the changeover happening again in 2024, getting ready to be 2025.
And I mean, I think a lot of what's happening now has to do with COVID.
Yeah, for
Like
sure.
like the fact that people accept the idea that they're going to put down a $300 deposit and not get tattooed for 6 months.
Yeah.
That I think directly ties into the fact that the world stopped for however long it was, 12 months, 18 months, whatever it was.
Yeah.
People were just not that patient when I started tattooing.
I think it also gave people an opportunity to, maybe do a little bit more research on tattoos, whether it's, TV shows or YouTube or, and I'm not talking about the people that are doing them. I'm talking about people like in general, the customer.
Right.
Gave them an opportunity to maybe open up some horizons of stuff that they thought, maybe they couldn't get, or it's wow, holy cow, I've never seen anything like that. And like, I don't have anybody's name off the top of my head, but you see the guys that are doing like the geometric tattoos. Not really my thing. I think they're amazing, but that's something that I would have never even thought about unless I was, flipping through Instagram or something one day and I saw it and I was like, holy cow, man, look at that.
So this woman came in the shop the other day, and she was like, my artist. She had a couple some stuff to say about her artist, because she wanted the Escher stairways print, right? Which is difficult to follow on paper. And I mean, she had some complaints about this. I don't even know who her tattooer was, but then she showed me the work that she was complaining about, and I thought to myself, you're effing crazy.
Right.
I mean, well, it was like beautiful.
Right.
It was like some kind of Escher-esque print.
Right.
I mean, and I was like, ah, what do people expect now?
I think that, well, I think that people expect what they see on Instagram, that like polished, altered photo, or expect it to be. So let me ask you a question. Was that the person's first tattoo?
Yes, they weren't that tattooed.
So I remember being tattooed at the beginning, not necessarily my first tattoo, but let's say my second tattoo, right? When Jaybird did my dragon on my leg.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember being like, man, that looks badass, right? Because it's fresh, it's brand new.
It's bright.
And then, yeah. And then, like, a month or a couple months later, whatever, after it heals and it goes through the process and whatnot, and you're like, man, I want it to look like that. Like, why does it, you know what I mean? So I think that there needs to be, and I don't even know how you would go about this, but like more education on the process of, this is before, this is fresh. And I think there are pages out there that are doing the fresh versus healed. Then there's also people that are doing the pages that are fresh versus healed 10 years out. I think those are eye opening. Um, but I think that, for people that haven't been tattooed a lot, or maybe it's, first tattoo, their expectations are that it's going to look like that all the time. And that's not the case. I'm not talking about a wonky tattoo. I'm talking about like that
No,
crisp,
no, no.
bright.
Like, so, if I see a tattoo that I did 20 years ago,
Mhm.
right, and the yellow's still in there,
Yeah.
I'm pretty happy about that. If the yellow hasn't fallen out, like, obviously the greens and the reds, the blues, the deeper colors are going to be in there. But if there's a little bit of white left, is there a little bit of yellow left? Yeah, I like that.
I saw Lyle Hardy post one. He did a tattoo on somebody in like 78 or something like that.
Still readable?
Yeah, man, it actually, the guy came in to get it freshened up, but he had the picture of it, and he was like, "Man, I'm, stoked it held, and, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Dude, right on, man." I mean, I think that that is where there are people that complain. It's either wonky work, somebody's got, lines that are all jacked, crooked, whatever you want to call them. But then there's the Karens of the world that are like, how come it doesn't look exactly like that?
So when I was on the West Coast in the 90s, and I was seeing people that had gotten really tattooed in the 70s, and they're what do they call it when something ages?
Patina,
A patina, right? So you would see how their like yellows had mellowed to like sort of a golden, and you know what I mean? You and I always thought it was really beautiful how an aged full color sleeve looked. I thought it had its own sense of like it was class,
right?
right? It showed time.
I mean, look, part of that is also, if did you really take care of it?
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can sit and, you know, complain about a tattoo artist or whatever, and but how much of it falls on you?
I mean, it's like the time I did the 8 ball cover up on the guy, and the next day he was laying asphalt down in the in the
In the sun baking it.
in the sun in front of the shop in the parking lot. And I went out there and I was like, dude, he's got like his shirt off, just cooking.
um yeah, there's a guy on YouTube that does it's pretty ballsy, but he did some like episodes where he went to like 1-star review tattoo shops,
Yeah,
and some of them were like, man, I think might have been people that were doing, bad reviews on these different shops or whatever because it was competition, or it could have been the same type of scenario that we just talked about where it was like,
a Karen.
yeah, like, oh, I was supposed to look exactly like that, and I think that some of them actually, the tattoo that the guy wound up getting looked okay, and he was okay with them.
So
Some
there,
of them were pretty bad.
so there's a tattoo shop, and I can't remember what the name of it is,
It doesn't matter. We don't want to,
but they put a bad review on the back of their shirt.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
because they're just like, we do American traditional, and this dude like reviewed them like they're just a one-trick pony shop, and they literally just put it on the back of the T-shirt to be like, yeah, because you came in and you wanted this, and we do that.
Right, like he owned it.
Right? Yeah.
Hey man, you
Like,
know.
like I remember the first time I saw Crooked Ken. Like I saw Crooked Ken's website, and he said, "I'm a Coleman style tattooer. And if you don't want Coleman style work, I will turn you down, not because I don't like your ideas. Like your ideas are good, that kind of tattooing is good, but it's not what I do. It's not what I like to do." And the first time I ran into somebody saying that, I was like, I guess that's freedom. Like when you can really say to people, I just don't want to do that.
And Crooked Ken, I love his work, man.
Yeah. I mean,
And he's got to be one of the nicest guys, man.
yeah.
Totally, totally a nice, old biker dude.
Yeah.
He's a great guy to. If you ever run into him, he does do some convention. He doesn't travel a lot, but if you ever get a chance to run into him, man, definitely go introduce yourself and sit down and talk to the guy because he's been around a long time and he's a good good
Dude, and
dude.
that beard, man.
Yeah, man, it's on point.
That beard is full wizard.
Yeah, man, it's on point, dude. Um, but yeah, so I think that's those are my goals for tattoos for the year. Finishing out my leg sleeve of the American traditional, hitting up some people. If I can, I want to travel to some people that are not necessarily close to me. Um, I think it would be awesome to do that. Um, we'll see. I mean, I would definitely, I want to go to Reno, and sit down with Jesse, and I've already talked to him about some stuff, so we'll see what happens with
So
that.
when I ordered that flash sheet from him, I was talking to him, and I was like, "Thank you for your reels, bro. Thank
Yeah,
you, thank you for your reels." And he's like, "Yeah, I'll keep putting them up until they ban me."
yeah. And our moderator Nikki said she chimed in with "finish your knee," and then Chris said on air, "No,
Yeah, dude,
no,
absolutely.
no, man, I don't need to see everybody watching me wincing like a little girl." um, you got any tattoo goals for the year? I mean, not as an artist, but as a customer.
As a customer,
Yeah.
I want to finish my torso.
Okay.
I got one big piece on my stomach, and then I haven't decided whether I want to get filler work in between all my stuff or whether I'm covered enough.
Okay.
And then I want to get a piece on my back, and like my lower back. My upper back's already done. And then like, my ass cheeks in the area between the back of my kneecaps in my ass
Uh,
cheeks. Right? Like I'm almost like I don't.
like the back of your hamstring?
No, no, not my lower legs. So like my lower legs are done. My ankles to my knees are done pretty much.
Yeah, your hamstrings from your knee to your butt cheek.
Knee going up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like that's absolutely an area you never, never ever see.
Drag said, "I'm glad we only have 2 knees."
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen people that are doing full body suits and, they're getting tattooed on the inside of their thigh, like, in their groin area, and I'm thinking to myself, "Good God, that
I
has to hurt.
I'm pretty high up there.
That has to hurt in your groin area."
Yeah, I mean, I had to practice.
Ah, man. Nope,
Yeah,
nope. I won't be doing that area.
I had to practice.
Nah, man.
But I'm Irish, so there was like it wasn't that hard to push everything aside, you know what I'm saying?
All potatoes and no meat. Yeah, I think we should end it on that note. Um, I hope you all have a happy, safe be safe, please. And
So,
if you're gonna get banged up, call somebody, get a cab, have somebody that's gonna drive you, please.
that's the best thing about having a friend in recovery. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, you
well,
just bring your friend in recovery out.
I just don't want I don't want anybody to, something to happen to anybody, but, man, be safe if you're gonna do that.
So seriously, something that I was thinking of before the show started, um, and it has to do with the channel and the direction of the channel, right? Like, so guys that I worked with, what I really wanted was I wanted the respect of a certain group of tattooers, of tattoo artists, right? Like the first time that Mike Swaggart was like, "Oh yeah, Justin, he's a tattooer." Like, that's what I wanted. Just that, like, their respect.
Right.
Like he's a regular or whatever.
Acceptance and yeah.
He's a regular. And there were guys that I worked with who didn't care about that at all. They wanted to go to conventions and get trophies and earn money.
Mhm.
So now we're like 25 years in, and I do have the respect of a lot of these guys whose respect I wanted. But I sometimes wonder whether I see the virtue of my friends who just went the other way.
Mhm.
They just wanted the trophies and they wanted, the money and, because they're, a lot of them are doing pretty well,
Right.
you know? And I think that has to do with with the channel. Like I feel like we go for the respect.
Mhm.
We go to like shine a light on people and we don't go for the likes and we don't go for the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
And it
to me when I started this channel, man, it was I wanted to focus on the old school guys that I respected and heard about or throughout the years and whatnot. And yeah, it's real easy to hit the low hanging fruit and go with all the fancy brand new
right.
flashy tattoos and blah blah blah. But and I don't have a problem with them at all. I mean, obviously, I went up to New York or North Jersey just to see that dude who I think the dude's got amazing stuff.
The dude that was doing the Jaguar,
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I
that
can't
was
remember his name
incredible.
off the top of my head, but I mean, like, so I appreciate all that stuff, but to me, I wanted to, you know, I want to stick to what's true to me, what makes me happy deep down inside, man, and that's the stuff that, you
But
know,
that's going to be the harder road.
it is. I'm not. I've come to the point in this channel, because in February the channel will be 2 years old. Um, that I've accepted that. Like, I'm not gonna be the million subscriber channel. I'm not gonna have, 100,000 views on every video. That would be awesome, don't get me wrong, but I've kind of accepted that because to me, the community that we have with you that are watching right now, listening to us talk on a Sunday night, uh, the connections and discussions I've had with old timers that are well respected,
That's what
uh,
matters.
that's more important to me.
Yeah, that's what
You
matters.
know, talk to me in 10 years and I go, "God damn it."
Should have gone for that low hanging fruit.
Yeah, but, it is what it is, man. So, Fat Cracker said, do some videos on the history of American prison tattoos, the real fine line. Yeah, man, we've talked about that. Justin and I have talked about that. Some of those, we got to tiptoe around a few subjects to do some of that stuff, but that's definitely that's possibility. So we'll keep that in mind, Fat Cracker. It's already been kicked around between Justin and I.
That's where I saw some of my first extensive tattoo work on my dad's brothers.
Right on. Drag said, Happy New Year for the tattoo community.
Happy New Year, Drag.
Sarah said, have a happy and safe New Year's, everyone.
Be prosperous.
For sure. And Fat Cracker said, I'm tatted on my inner thighs. Palms are worse to me. So he's
They weren't that bad to me either.
No, he's saying it was the worst for him.
Really?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I want to thank you all for joining us this year and hanging out with us. And, it's much appreciated. Can't thank you all enough. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you being a part of the community and showing up on Sundays and hanging out with us. And I hope you all have a safe, happy New Year. And make sure you are safe on New Year's Eve, please.
Yes.
And we'll see you next week.
We will see you